Okay, so here's the take up for Spiral 1 Topic 1 test. So question 1, 10 divided by 2 plus 4 times 3 plus 1. What we have to remember here is we need to do this here first and this here first through BEDMAS. Okay, so that's going to look like 10 divided by 2 is going to be 5 plus 4 times 3 is 12 plus 1. Okay, then we just add all those together. 5 plus 12 is 17, and that's going to equal 18 altogether. The key is there, we have to do those two parts first, right? And those two parts will lead, this leads to the 5, and this leads to the 12. Now next up again, we have to pay attention to BEDMAS, because we have to do this first, that multiplication. So if we do the first one here, negative 4 is out in front. 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. And on the bottom, we have 11 minus negative 9, which is the same as saying 11 plus 9. Just underline that so it looks the same. That leads to a negative 20 over 20. And if we reduce it, it's going to equal negative 1. I should put equal signs here so we know where we're going. Oh. Good. Oops. Get out of there. Equal and equal. Alright, so this one here, I wonder if I can insert math formula. Insert equation. Oh, what are you doing down there? Alright, so this one here we have 4 over 5 minus 1 over 8. So we have subtraction, so we need to make common denominator. So I'm going to times it by 8. So it's going to be 32 over, we're going to times that by 8 as well. That's going to be over 40 minus, and we're going to times this by 5 to make it match. So it's going to be minus 5 over 40. And what's that equal? So therefore we have 27 over 40 is my final answer. And we can't reduce that. Now this one here is negative 2 to the power 4. So that's going to equal negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2, which is going to equal 16. So negative times a negative is a positive, times a negative is a negative, times a negative again, positive times negative ends up, sorry, that's negative there, times negative again equals a positive. This one here, because the 4 is attached to the negative 2, the 4 attaches to 2 here, so it's negative 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which equals negative 16. So there's the difference between those two. Now this one here, let's see if I do this. There we go. This one here is division. So we have to remember for division, we flip the second fraction. So we have 3 over 4, and we make it a multiply. Multiplied by, oh, come on, 3 over 4 multiplied by 5 over 7. So that's going to equal 3 times 5 is 15, and 4, I did something wrong. 4 times 7 is 28. So there's our answer there, 15 over 28. So we only flip the second one, we don't flip the first one. Now here we have ratios here, so we know it goes up and down by the same thing. So if I take a look here, I know this here is a times 6. 4 times 6 is 24. So the question is, what times 6 is 6?
Daddy.
1 times 6 plus 1 times 6 equals 6. Kaylee, I'm finishing something first, okay?
Dad, are we playing Mario Kart?
You have to ask Mommy if you have time. So that equals, therefore x equals 1. Finn, changes something Kaylee wants to watch. So here, we take a look here, and we go, okay, 8 times 8, that's a times 8. 8 times 8 equals 64. So what times 8 equals 80? What times 8 equals 80? So that's going to equal 10. So therefore, 10, it's going to equal 10. 10 times 8 equals 80, just like 8 times 8 equals 64. Now this one here is a little more difficult. We have the x on the bottom. So what I like to do there is I flip it. So that's going to be x over 11 equals, and if I flip the first one, I have to flip the second one. So it's equal 34 over 23. So now we have this. Then I'm going to move the x over. So x is going to equal bracket 34 divided by 23 times 11, which x is going to equal 16.2 is my answer. Well, I think it may be rounded to 16.3. Let me check my calculator. 34 divided by 23 equals times 11. 16.3 is my answer then. So that's how I got that. I flipped it, and then I moved the 11 over, which became multiplied. So, to go from percent to decimal, I divide by 100. So 20 divided by 100 equals 0.2. To make a fraction, I just put the number over 100. 20 over 100. But that can be reduced to 1 over 5, because 20 goes into 105 times. Now this one here, I'm going to multiply by 100. So I'm going to go 0.555 times 100 equals 55.5. Then on this side, I could put it over 100, but that's going to give me a decimal place in a fraction. We can't have that. So let's add another 0 here so I can get rid of my decimal place there. Then I can reduce that, and the reduce is going to be 111 over 200. I divided everything by 5 here. That's how I got to there. And this one here, I'm going to go to my decimal place. I'm going to go 12 divided by 7. And that's going to equal my decimal place. Now I only want one decimal place, so I'm going to go there. And then I'm going to times that number by 100. So I'm going to go 1.7 times 100 equals 170%. And there's my answer there. Now, let's take a look at this one here. So, I have a mixed fraction here, so I'm going to get rid of it. Make it improper. So I'm going to go 3 times 3 equals 9 plus 1, because a whole is 3 over 3. So I'm going to go 3 times 3 plus 1. So that's going to be 10 over 3 divided by, I'm going to write divide. Put my brackets here. So I got to do my brackets first. So once again, I have a addition or subtraction. So we need a common denominator. So my common denominator in this case can be 28. So I'm going to times 7 times 4 and 4 times 7. So 6 times 4 is 24 over 28. Then I'm going to minus off. I'm going to times this by 7. So it's going to be 7 over 28. So I'm going to have equal. I have 10 over 3 divided by, and then I have, still in my brackets, 24 minus 7 is going to equal 18, no, 17, over 28. Then I have a divide, so I flip my second fraction. So it's going to be 10 over 3. I'm going to make it a multiply by 28 over 17. I flip the second one, which that's going to equal 280 divided by 51 once we do the math. That's how we talk through that one. Okay, next one here. Nathan, Nawid, and Andrew eat a container of ice cream at a ratio of 3 to 4 to 2. So first we have to figure out how many parts they have. So 3 plus 4 plus 2, equals 9. So total of 9 parts. Eat 1,400 milliliters of ice cream. So let's find out how much one part is. So I'm going to go 1,400 divided by 9, 155.56. Let's go like that. So now to figure out how much each one eats, I have Nathan. So Nathan ate 3 parts. We're going to go 3 times 1 part, which is 155.6. Then I have Nawid. He ate 4 parts. 4 times 155.6. And then lastly, I have Andrew. And that's 2 times 155.6. Right there. So that kind of evens everything out. Now I can write my concluding statement. Nathan ate 466.8 milliliters. Nawid ate 622.4 milliliters, and Andrew ate 311.2 milliliters of the 1,400 milliliter ice cream container. There we go. Next one. So Mr. O's looking for granola bars for class. He has 2 options: granola Nutri-Grain for 10.19 for 40 bars, and soft and chewy. So let's do the first one. So this is Nutri-Grain. Nutri-Grain. Whatever. So I'm going to do price divided by unit because I want a unit price. I want the price of 1. So it's going to be 10.19 divided by 40. There we go. So let's round that to 25 cents a bar. And then a soft and chewy. So S&C. That is 12.99 divided by 64. So now we're looking here, which option is cheaper per bar? So I would say soft and chewy are cheaper by 5 cents per bar. I believe that answers my question as, and by how much? Which one's cheaper and by how much? This is actually a fact that 43% of teens can text with their eyes closed. So I want to change 43 into a number. 43%, I'm going to go 43 divided by 100. That equals 0.43. Then we go times that, 0.43 times, how many kids are in school? 866. And so there's our number of kids. So therefore, 372 students at St. James can text with their eyes closed. Lastly, so our Lego collection went up in value by 23%. So if I think about it, if I consider her Lego collection to be 100% value, I add 23% to it, I'm now at 123%. So I'm going to change that into a percent as a number. So I'm going to divide that by 100, which equals 1.23. Then all I have to do is do 1.23 times 4239. And there's our new answer. So Hannah's Lego collection is now worth $5,213.97. And then a spirit animal. What should my spirit animal be? I think I'm going to make a spirit animal. So I think I like this as my spirit animal. Some of you will get it, and some of you won't. It is Animal from... Come in. So there's my spirit animal. Animal from Muppets. I don't think I can think of another spirit animal right now off the top of my head. So there's your test review. Look it over, fix it up, and we'll go from there. Thank you.